people just tend to forget, which puppy I want, and so I say mama bear. I say medium-sized women. If you got 5 of them there, what's anything like a puppy? So they're also going to have different tips on the end of it. Okay. The largest one is for picking up the full pup. This is a shot ophthalmic gob. That's what this is called, ophthalmic formula S8. It's basically optically perfect. Okay, there's no bubbles, no pores, no color. This is totally colorless. And the idea is that the larger puppy picks up the bigger pup. This is what makes the back communication in the cup over the little bit of flour. The medium one picks up a half a pup. That half a pup will be dropped on the bottom. That's the bottom of the paperweight. And then the smallest one is a completely flat surface puppy that is the final puppy that makes it just flat onto the bottom of the paperweight, and therefore with nothing on it and no big end, very easy to get off the puppy and into the kiln. So copper bear, we go over to the torch here. It gets a press on the tip of it. Usually called a Maria, whether or not that's an actual term. It's debatable, and mostly it's a scientific term. Is that not right? And it did have a scientific term for. I heard it was for like a seal, when you make a lip that actually goes onto a seal around the hole or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, just flatten it out as a cookie. In most terminology in the furnace and the hot shop or whatever, you have to put the cookie on the end of the thing. So I'm going to get the tip of this puppy kind of hot here, and then I'm going to press it flat down onto the table. And since this is Papa Bear gets a big hat. Papa Bear gets a big hat. Mama Bear, on the other hand, gets a hat, but her hat is smaller than Papa Bear. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use the tip, press it down, and not make quite a big disc as this. Now, the reason why this disc is bigger, of course, is because it's picking up a bigger piece of glass. The reason why this disc is smaller is because it's picking up half a bucket, so it doesn't have to be big. So get it good and hot, and then just press it flat down on the table. The last one, Baby Bear, gets no hat at all, and it goes wee all the way on. So, just a little bit of a hat here, Mama Bear like about that, and there you go, those are your puppies prepared. Now, I've got a ring mold here. This is for making the paperweight shape at the end. It could also be a marble or a sphere, is what they call them these days. I need a graphite shaper, a brass shaper, a pair of large tweezers for peeling the pup. Once these are puffy and picked up, we're going to peel the entire surface off of this pup, and therefore it's absolutely clean and never been touched by dirty fingers. Hemostats, just in case something comes off with the puppy, which does happen, but hopefully it won't happen now. And that's for picking things up or dropping on the table or whatever. A set of different nippers, just so you can re-nip these things after several people are going in a row. You want those ends cleaned up. You just nip them off, and then again you press the puppies all over again. A pair of shears. The shears are going to be for getting between the final puppy and the paperweight to actually put a jack line or a separation between the two, so that it can be tapped off into the milk. Okay. So we start off in the beginning, starting with basic materials. You're not going to be able to usually use stock or standard colors, because they're so cartoony and everything. So all of us have been mixing these colors. Deep green with black will give you an olive green similar to this. Grass green with black will give you a nice full deep forest green or a kettle green. And so you would want to mix your colors to get a little bit more realistic greens. And also with the flower petals and things like that, overlays and colors like that. Now what we've done in this class is we focused on making Murrine petals, which if I hold one of these up, and it's already shaped in a petal shape, but they are just nipped, and so I will have to pinch them and form them. And we've also made these Murrine leaves like this that have veins in the leaves, shading in the leaves, and the main stem going down the middle. Now what you want to do is, in order to pick these things up, you want to start with a color that's similar to what you've got on the petal or the leaf. And that is in case you do happen to leave a little bit of this behind when you burn it off. And that way it doesn't show, or it looks good. And so you're going to take these little teeny petals one at a time. And it's a light flash of heat to the Murrine. Just a light flash, just so that it doesn't pop. And then just a light little hit on the tip of that pumpkin there, and touch that to the tip of that petal, and then let go. So So now you've got your Murrine petal attached to the end here. The idea is to lightly soften the petal from both sides until it flows deeply but doesn't fall up. Don't allow the Murrine to fall up, it'll distort the pattern. It's just lightly softening and then getting close with the needle nose pliers and pinch, pinch. Pinch a nice little flat disc. Now the petal is very thin, like a flower petal would be, not as thin as a flower petal. And you don't want to squish these things. You don't want them to be paper thin. They do have to stand up to a little bit of 2,000-degree glass coming down over them, so they do have to be a little thicker than the standard petal would be, but not so thick that they look artificial. They should kind of come out real. And now with a light glancing heat off of just the edge of that petal, then you just pinch it a little bit and distort it. So in other words, flute the edge. And it's not really pinching, because if you pinch, you'll make two dents in the edge of the petal. Those two dents will cause the bubbles to trap in each one of those holes. So it's not a pinch, it's more like a ruffle, like a bend, like a twist, not a pinch. So once you've ruffled it and distorted the petal in whatever shape it is, now you warm up your tweezers or your needle nose pliers, you grab that hot petal, you come to the flame, and then just above the flame, you pull back away, and then that puts the flame going back to the petal, and there's one petal for a flower there. So you do that 7 times, 6 or 7 times for every 5 petal flower, because there's a chance the petal itself is going to pop or you're going to drop it or whatever. So you'd like to have 1 or 2 backups for a 5 petal flower. So I would do that for 6 or so petals. Now I'll do a leaf. Leaf is very much the same thing. Just flashing the leaf in the flame and bringing it into the flame, hitting the tip of what will be its funky, and then bringing just the tips together, thin, very small attachment. A light heating out into the fluffy part of the flame where it's kind of soft. I could turn my flame down considerably, but it doesn't really matter. Once you get used to working with it, you realize that it's really a lot of flashing heats like this and glancing heats off of your edge. It's not so much bam right in the middle and staying there. I turned it into a ball. So it's just flashing heats. A simple way to treat the petal then would be to just take, now that it's pinched fairly thin, to just take another hot rod, soften the petal lightly again, touch it to the point, and then re-point the tip of the leaf like this. Just do a nice point like that. Again, meet the tweezers with the needle nose pliers, grab the hot petal, and then just flash a couple times, tap the torch, and pull that off. Do a nice little snare and lay that down. So now you've got there an example of a Murrine shaded and veined petal, and an example of a Murrine shaded and veined leaf. So go with it. So now once you get a set of those, you're going to put those together into something like this. And I'll go ahead and do that right now. Here's a flower that was built up from 5 Murrine petals. So take that, set that down. So I've got one there. I'm going to take another blue one. It's very important that these Murrine are nipped relatively thin. If you nip them too thick, then they're going to be squished. And when they go through that squishing process and being too thick, of course, it's going to distort all the ones. They're going to squish out and go sideways. It's not going to look like that pretty petal. So you kind of have to get the knack of pinching and nipping a very thin Murrine. It's not really that difficult, and you don't want to use the radial nippers to do that. And I'll show you nipping a couple petals here in a second. Flash that Murrine petal that's funky on the end of the ring. A light flash, light flash, light flash. Get in there and pinch, makes it flat. Keep the edge, ruffle just slightly, just so that it's not a flat like this petal, because it looks like a shape. And then flash, flash, grab the little petal, and pull that through. So you just do that over and over. Now when I said nipping, you've got 2 different kinds of nippers here. You've got the disc nipper, or the rolling nipper, or radial nipper, whatever you want to call them, and then you've got your standard blunt tile nipper. You also want an offset nipper. You don't want the nippers that are in the middle. So some of them come with the nipper in the middle and the handle in the middle of that. You don't have then any access past your Murrine off to the side of the nipple. So don't buy those. Okay, buy the offset nippers like this. A disc nipper like this, if you're trying to nip a very thin thing, if it's round, first off, the roller nippers tend to roll off on the back off of the round jaw. So for a round type of petal or a round type of leaf, it's not a great way to nip. Besides the fact that it nips out sideways, it shoots things sideways like this. And you can't really look through it to actually see how big the nip is because all of this is in the way. Which means now you got to look down like this to get your nip and line it up like this, and then of course try to keep that from shooting across the room. Whereas if you take a nipper like this, you can lay a towel in your lap or onto your pants or whatever, and you make a pocket that's going to catch these marine chips. Maybe a towel would be a better thing, but I just really want to do this stuff. And then you've got the nippers that are offset, and the offset side goes down, that creates a trap for the green to make the man. And then of course they can't pop out this hole, but when you put this in the nipper, you can clearly see how thick you're going to nip it. And then you just cover it up like this. And you can look inside, be careful not to lift your finger, and then you can just feed it in. Feed, 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 and just nip, 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 nip. Now you're going to lose some are going to be thick, some are going to be broken, but you're going to end up with a tile just like that. The idea is to try to get these about 1 millimeter thick, or about 1/16 of an inch at the most. You take that and if it were a towel, and you see if the towel is going on the table or into a bowl or whatever. In this case, I just stand up, and then I have an handful of petals right there. They should be about 1/16 of an inch thick, or 1 millimeter thick, something like that. Pinching that thickness of the murrine then will not destroy the pattern. Okay, so I'm going to make a few more of these, and I'll show you how to make. I'll make a pansy. So I've got 2 blue ones already pinched here. These are going to be the top 2 petals in the pansy up here. And then I'm going to take 3 of these pink petals, and those will be the 3 bottom petals in the pansy. 1, 2. And you're trying, of course, to get the similar size and a similar thickness of the nip, so that when you pinch it, they'll be basically the same size. So 3 there. Remember, you'd like to have 1 or 2 backups on the side, just in case you drop them or whatever might happen. Now, this pea green was a problem for us. You saw that little rod break off there as I was pulling off the leaf or whatever. The pea green has kind of been a problem, at least it has been for me, of being a little bit on the brittle side. But that's kind of what I chose to be the color of the inside of these little petals, so you can barely see the green whenever there is a little teeny bit of green. And if you want to, you know, if you're punching onto something that you leave some of this behind, it's better to do something that is the correct color. So I'm using what I have to use. So I want to pull this down again. You can see it blistering and everything. It's just not a happy color. You pull this down to a very small point like this. That's what the tip of your punch is going to be. Then I'm going to grab these pink petals here and again waft 1 or 2 times through the flame like this. Keep the very tip of the punch at the very tip of the petal, and then just tap back. And then come out here, flash, flash. Flash lightly, flash, flash until it gets a nice deep orange glow but not ball up. And then pinch, and then flash, and drop it. And then grab, and then flash, and pull. Same thing again. And now I'm basically just showing you how to build a flower from those petals. You know how to fix the petals. You don't know how to make the petals. So we've been spending 2 days doing that, so we're not going to go there. And usually this whole process that I'm going to demonstrate in an hour should take at least a couple hours, if not a day or so. So we're just rushing through this whole thing and trying to make it as fast as I can. So flash, 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 flash. If these are just flashes, light flashes, otherwise if I hit it too hard at one time, it will ball up. And light flashes until I get an orange glow and then pinch. And then flash, and then roll. And then grab it with hot tweezers or anything else, flash, and take it. And it would be smart to make extras. I'm not going to. I'm just going to hope that I do a good job. And since I have 100% disapproval rating, okay, so lightly eat the tip of that, catch the petal. It's a very repetitious thing. I mean, this can, you know, to some people this is almost torture, but this is the way of the world with paperweight. There's lots of meticulous, little nitpicky, you know, if it's not quite perfect, throw it away kind of things going on. It can be very, very frustrating. This is, in my classes, this is where the students usually start crying. But not necessarily now. Just in a second here when I show you how to put together the flowers, that's when they start crying. These petals you got, there's a whole lot of stress in these petals, and as you're assembling the flower, you can get all the way to 4 petals and putting on your last petal, and bang, the whole thing just explodes on you. Or you can spend a day and a half trying to make the perfect flower, and finally you get the perfect flower, and then you drop it. Or you make the perfect 3 flowers, and you're putting your setup together, and you explode all 3 flowers, and then you got nothing left. Or you get the perfect setup made, and as you're carrying it into the cup or sliding it off the plate, you drop it on the floor, or somebody comes along and touches it for you. There's just all kinds of things that can happen here. So now I've got 3 bottom petals and 2 top petals. With a pansy, I need a black dot. Pansy, just kind of a black dot in the center. You know, now you could make stamen material or stamen cluster. You could do a bundle of dots and pull that out into what would be the center of the flower. All I'm going to do is just pull this into a fairly small stringer, and then build all my petals on the back of that stringer. Now, these 3 petals and or just the standard flowers that you build for paperweight are always built from the back. So the front is here on the bunting, and I'm going to place then the petals onto this little stringer, kind of like building a little umbrella. And then that is the back of my flower, and then when I burn off the front, that will be the front that we look at. So, starting the little umbrella, now there is a way to put together a pansy in that there's 3 on the bottom that are the same color. Now this is a very small attachment of just the tip of the petal and just the tip of the stringer, and ding, and let go. And then a flash of heat then allows you to put it up and straighten it out. So a pansy is a setup of 3 of the same colors. The middle one, it goes out in front, then the other 2 go on side with a slight overlap. Okay, so I'm going to take this one, it's going to be placed right here off the back, and another one off the back over here. So I'm coming in just to get the tip of the petal on, and barely get the tip of the stamen or what is your center, and back the petal on, and let go. A little flash like this, and a slight adjustment, and you see how this petal slightly overlaps that center petal. I'll do the same thing again, the other side. Just the tip gets on, just the bottom gets to go, just the tip of that gets to go, and touch, let go, and that just lightly covers the back of that center petal like this. Now there's 2 opposing petals up here that are totally different colors, so I'll put one up here. Once you start getting multiple petals stacked together, it's easier to come from the bottom, so you get that hot, you get that hot, you touch, and let go, you flash, and adjust. And then the second glue then overlaps that one also, at the top, coming in, you get this to flow, you get that to flow, and that, and let go, you flash, and adjust. And then this is your pansy. But this is the back of it. You will be looking at the front there. So now with the green that's appropriate for the stem, I'm going to take a small amount of green and I'm going to pull it down to a much smaller stringer so that I can make little sepals or the little green petals or leaves that are on the back of every flower. So I'm going to heat up a little bit of this, and I'm going to pull it down to about 1/16 of an inch or so, or about 1 millimeter, and burn that off. This is going to be the little individual strokes that make the sepals on the back of my flower. So just making a teeny little ball of green on the tip of that, and touching and burning out, and touching and burning out, and touching and burning out. And that's making the little sepals of where the bud used to be. So now I've got the sepals on the back of the flower, now I need to attach the stem. I make about a 3/16 to a 1/4 inch ball of hot glass on the tip of my green that will be my stem. I glance the heat lightly because it has to actually glow in order to truly stick. If this is not glowing and this is glowing, it's only like a cold seal and it'll shut right off. So you do have to slightly get the back of that flower to glow like that, and this ball is glowing good. You make a very light, ding, small attachment, and wait. Balance that ball a little bit so it doesn't sag down, and then slowly pull out, and in this case, down. And that then makes your stem so that you'll be looking into the front of the flower. Now with the pansy, then it was important that I pulled the stem down, leaving the 2 blue petals on the top and the 3 pink ones on the bottom. And now I come to the front and I burn off the black dot here. Change hands now and take off a little teeny bit of excess black like this. I don't need that. And then ball that little teeny black dot on. And then you have a small band. So now I grab that with the heated tweezers or needleless pliers and burn the stem off relatively long. It's very easy to shorten stems, but it's very difficult to make those stems longer if I need them longer. So I always pull off the stem fairly long. And we don't have a whole lot of room to work in here. The cup, which is hot here, is only about a 2-inch hole. And in order for a full dome, which causes magnification on the paperweight, to magnify that setup, you have to come in about a 1/4 inch smaller than that 2 inches. Otherwise, the magnification will cut off the outside petals and leaves. And in order to then be able to see it, if you do that by mistake, you have to drop the dome to make it flatter and flatter to take the magnification out. But let's say that we want a full ball, and we want that full ball to magnify the entire thing so that we can see everything from any direction. So that means I have to stay in an 1.5 inch disc to fit in a 2-inch cup. So now, I've made the petal for you, I've made the leaves for you, and that's what you've got now over here on the tray. You've got a couple of flowers and a couple of leaves to make a setup. So the leaves and all the detailed stuff other than the flower petal is not put together here. The components are made on the big torch, but the assembly is done with this, a small jeweler's torch. Small jeweler's torch has a number 4 tip. Anything below that with propane will not even ignite. So a 3, 2, and 1, which they do make, is made for acetylene for silver smithing or for silver soldering. So acetylene is more flammable than propane and will ignite in those smaller tips. But with propane, which is what we're using, it won't ignite in a 3, 2, or 1, a small tip like that, which is too small. So the first one that will work is a 4. There is a certain size propane length right here for every number size tip. For number 4 size tip, it's about a 1/2 inch or so long right there. And then you bring in slowly the green, and it will go to kind of a turquoise tip like this. And it's even slightly rounded. A bright blue turquoise, you don't want that. That is a reductive flame. That will turn all of these green stems brown, it will turn all of the things black. So you have to take it beyond that to where it changes color and actually goes to a violet color right there. You see that violet change? There's turquoise there, there's violet there, there's turquoise there, there's violet there. And the point is very, very tight. You have to take it to that point, and it's actually just before it goes out. Right on the very, very edge. So a torch like this, an internal mixed torch, usually cannot even be taken to an oxygenated flame. By the time you get it to an oxygenated flame, it blows itself out. And that's the same way with many welding torches and that kind of thing. So you got to take it to that perfect purple, right to the edge of the line, and that's what you use. You can see it's a nice little teeny flame, but believe me, this is hot. This thing is hot. They claim that this flame, with acetylene, generates a 6,300 degree flame. 6,300 degrees. Okay, so let's get hot. Now you take these flowers that you've already made, and you look at your setup and your flower arrangement. So it is basically like flower arranging. All the making of the flowers and the petals and the things like that, it's all very mechanical, it's all very technical. It's not the art part. Maybe the color choices that you make are, but it's not the artist part. The artist part is going to be the colors that you choose to go together and the way you arrange your flowers into a pretty floral. And that's really the talent part, because you can make a pretty damn ugly setup even if you have good flowers, right? And you can make really good flowers, but if you can't put it into a good setup, it's a pretty ugly paper with it. So it's really, there is some artistic things here, but so far all of the stuff that we're doing is really basically technical, and it's a mental process, especially with making the green petals. And does this go there? Does that go this way? Does this go that way? It may be very confusing. So this is the part where you may have a little bit of talent showing, or color flair, color decoration. I only have 2 flowers, and I always like to work in odd numbers. So it's always better to work in 5, 3s, 5s, and 7s, especially when it comes to leaves. And it's always better to work in 3s and 5s when it comes to flowers too. So just an odd number works out better. And then there's also that's a symmetric balance. And and that you can make a nice floral arrangement with very symmetric and balanced setup. But there's also asymmetric balance, which would be more like a Ikebana or Japanese type of flower arrangement, where you actually have earth, wind, water, all this kind of thing, and everything is arranged so that it balances itself out even way off. You can have a big cluster down here, a stem, and something up here, or something over here, something over here, something over here. So it's definitely asymmetric. It's out of whack, but it works. You know, and that's a nice thing to go for, is that oriental. So you don't really see paperweights like that. They're always just kind of specimens and put right into the center of the thing. And it's, you know, it's nice to clutter a whole. I would use a dirty word, but anyway, it's nice to cluster a whole bunch of things together in the middle. But that's a no-brainer. You know, it's a color arrangement and everything, but it's a no-brainer. That minimalist way that the Japanese arrange things is a truly artistic form. And so you just don't see paperweights that are done that way. You know, it's very minimalist but beautiful. So anyway, think about that when you put your set together. So you take your flowers and you kind of cold fit them. In other words, you can fold them onto this side to have it going this way. You can shorten the stems, you can lengthen the stems a little bit. You can definitely adjust the stem. And if a stem, like for example this one, they both stand up, all I have to do is hit that stem like this and bing, it falls. So if you want to flatten out your setup and change the angle of the flower, all you have to do is hit it down here. Now you try to stay away with this plant from these flowers themselves, or anything that's fairly large, like berries and things like that that are solid, because this will just pop and they'll just explode, and then your full setup will go away. So whenever you're trying to change something like this, you try to turn it away from the heat, and that way then you can move your stem. So if I wanted to do that here, I wouldn't do it this way, is what I'm saying. I would not shoot the torch directly at the flower because it's going to change its control. Now, if I want to shorten this stem, then all I have to do is grab the stem and use the weight of the flower and keep the heat on the stem like this and cut the stem. And that's why I say you want to keep your stems long, because it's very easy to cut them, but it's not very easy to put them back together again and lengthen them without showing some kind of a seam to attach to the screen and make it longer. So you always want to go with longer stems. If you're going to have anything like these leaves on the inside of the flower, like let's say I want one inside between, you have to put that on now. You wouldn't want to put these two flowers together like this and then try to sneak a leaf inside of it without breaking the flower. So try to do inside out, work from the inside out. Make your attachments correctly, and do as much shaping and sizing as you can hold like this before you actually commit to start putting things together. Because the more times you heat that joint and move that joint, the more stress you build in that joint, the more it wants to explode all by itself. So you'd like to get it cold set up. This is the way it's going to go. One attachment, maybe a little adjustment, but basically it's done. And that's where students start to cry too, because they put these things together and they get it together, but it's not quite perfect, and a little bit more, and then they even place it as all shoppy and blue, but it can fall apart. And then they die. And they fall down on the floor in the fetal position and cry about it. It's only glass after all, it's no big deal, okay? It only takes a few minutes to make these things, but still, it took them longer than that, and there's a lot of pain in there. So I'm going to heat these things and attach them by, just like silver soldering, putting the torch between the two joints, getting them both to glow, and actually watching the flow just like that. You can actually see the glass flow into itself and become one, just as you would if you were silver soldering or welding or anything with the torch to bond two things together. You want to see the flow, you want to see it become one. I can change the adjustment, the angle of the flower just by tapping it like that. Down it goes into a more forward look like that. It's very important that the setup is built on a flat platform so it cannot teeter. Because if it can teeter in that cup, then when the glass comes down, it can shoot it in any direction against the side of the cup, and you're trying to screw it. So you want to make sure that it's a very stable flat platform and it will not teeter. And if it does have to be built in a way that's off-center or angled, then you would put a clear screw coming from the back of the flower as a crutch or support in the back of the flower to keep it up off the cup. So you build a tripod basically under the flower to keep it where you want it to be. But in our case, we're just going to build them so that they're very flat. And you can have some dimension, but nothing can really go straight up and down. It has to be a relatively, not flat setup, but at least on an equal plane, so that when the hot glass comes down into it, it gets to everything about the same time. Because if there's any one thing standing up above everything else, it can, again, push it off to the side or push it over, or even melt it down and break it off. So you never know. Now, I had a bud somewhere last night. Ah, there it is. Since I don't have much material on this simple little setup, this is not going to be the setup that I'm going to use, but I do want you to see how we are going to put this together. Last night, I had made a bud for everybody, and there's a bud. That gives me a little something to work with. So now I'm going to attach some of these. I'm going to come in here, I'm going to put a leaf right here. Have to see it flow, there, float. I'm going to put a leaf on this side. At an angle. Another thing that you don't want to do is set up a whole bunch of flats. In other words, you've got these flat leaves, you've got these flat petals and everything like that. Well, the glass is coming straight down off it. If you create a flat like this, there's a good chance you're going to trap a bubble underneath that flat, just like a cup. You also cannot create a cup this way or this way. The glass will come down and trap a bubble in there. The glass will not be able to come up there and trap a bubble there. And even if it's a flat, it may trap a bubble in there. So you always try to slightly lean or angle everything so that it has no resistance. The glass flows through like air through a propeller. And that's what you don't want to be drastic with everything. You know, you don't want to, actually you don't want to make a daisy that looks like a propeller. That's a common thing that you see too, and it's not the way they grow, you know what I mean? So, but all you have to do to counteract that is just give yourself a little bit of something between each one of that, and that would be good. So there are some basic rules. The non-teetering was one of them. Don't touch with your fingers like I just did. That's no, because your fingers have salt and oil on them. Will contaminate your flowers and maybe make them hazy. You cannot have anything standing straight up or down. You cannot really have too many things touching, or really anything touching each other, because the glass cannot go between two things that are touching. So you have to have ever so slightly, at least, a little trap between so that the glass can go in there. If you do this, it'll trap a bubble behind the place where the glass can go in. So there are some, you cannot create very many levels and layers, because the glass does have to go between these things, and it will start to slow down as it touches everything that's a little bit older than it is. So you can have a couple of overlaps, but you cannot layer these things on top of each other. So there are some basic rules. Now I'm just going to attach a bud to the center of this, right here. And hold it till it sets and let go. Now there's other ways to do this too. There's a really professional way to do this, like a paperweight professional would do it. None of these tools, or some of these tools are, but none of these tools are the tools that we standardly use by professional paperweight. We have to do this. We have to use these kind of crummy things that only cost a couple bucks, because the students will burn the tips on these things and they'll have to replace them. So you would use jewelers for doing this kind of setup here. That would be an advantage. For pinching the petals, you would use the stamp type, ducktail kind of tweezers that you can get. So there are some specialized, they're not really specialized in paperweight making, but they're specialized for doing delicate, clean work. And we're kind of violating some of those rules with the way that they work here. We're trying to do it clean. We're trying not to touch things or contaminate things, but we're in an environment where there's other people involved. I've had students come up to me and say, "Is this a good petal?" Actually, lick the tip of their finger to pick up the petal. I mean, and or other people come and look at your beautiful flowers and go, "Wow, this is a pretty one," and they reach in there and touch them. And I mean, it's happened to all of us, I guess, one time or another. Another thing is, once the setup is on a plate like this, people will want to pick up the plate like this and take their eye off of it and lean and dump it right on the floor. And there it goes, it's done. So, you try to keep these things as clean as possible. You use cleaner, more accurate tools to do this with. And there's such a thing as a third hand, which is a big weighted base like this, almost kind of like this with the arm coming up, and then an alligator clip at the end of it over here, which is adjustable in all different directions. And what you would do is take the stringer like this, of usually a matching color similar to the stem, and pinch that into the alligator clip, and then that would be attached to the tip of the stem here, and that keeps it stable and allows you to actually push on things. What we're doing is following this thing around on a graphite plate and spinning and it's moving and sliding. Makes it kind of hard sometimes to push things together. But what they'll use is something called a third hand. That helps that out. Also, it's hardly ever built on a cold surface like we're doing too. Usually it'll be on some form of a hot plate with a heat source underneath, so that keeps the popping and exploding of these parts within our minimum. So there are some real advantageous things to use, but every one of us would have to have a hot plate. Every one of us would have to have a setup, not expensive, but they have to be placed kind of tools. So we're working in a different kind of environment, and if you can pull this off, then you should be really easily able to pull it off if you do have a rough type of anyway, okay, so one more leaf on here just for the heck of it. This is not the setup I'm going to use. The setup I'm going to use is magically going to appear underneath this little silver cup right here. But this is this, and one more leaf down at the bottom. The general rule with this kind of thing is if you have a bad attachment, cover it with a leaf. That's pretty much what you do. Hide everything you can. And as I said, the more attachments I make here, the more times I heat it up, the more times I adjust it, the more explosive it becomes. But there's a simple little flower setup here. Okay? And of course you can see they're fairly stable and fairly strong, but if you drop them, they are, well, they're still pretty tough. Still rough. Wow, you're a strong little devil. There. See how fragile they are? So anyway, this is the one then, if we take a shot of this is the one that's going in the cup. It's a setup with 5 pansies. And even a small ladybug right here on this leaf, about a millimeter or so size ladybug right there. Now one of the dangerous points, of course, there's several of them. One of them is picking this up and having it slide onto the floor, which happens all the time. Students are so proud of it, they have to carry it around and show it to each other. Because they dump it on the floor on the way, and they're not so proud anymore. The next one is trying to pick this thing up and place it into that cup. And that's where it has to go. Now I'm going to show you how to make some grit. Grit is what's going to be on the bottom. It doesn't always have to have grit, but I am going to have grit on the bottom of this cup that's going to be laying in here that the flowers are going to be nested into. One of also the kind of artistic things about this is not only the arrangement of flowers, how the flowers are arranged, but also the color choices that go together. One of the biggest choices and the dilemmas that the students always have to come to me, and I don't really want to say what to use, but what color do I make my grid or whatever is the background of my flowers. That's really a personal choice. But I can tell the students that you don't usually use anything that's involved in your setup to begin with. So this pansy has a great deal of yellow, has a great deal of blue, and a great deal of green. So those 3 are out. Okay? So you can go really, really dark, but if your setup is slightly dark, then it may disappear too. You want things to make the flowers stand out, but not like a surface. You want it to be fairly subtle but obvious. So one of the best things or most common things to use is a very neutral color like ivory, or even white, or something that's very neutral. And then that's what you see. Black is very dramatic, just like it's very dramatic on that Floral Murrine thing like this. It ends up making a very classical look, very, very pretty. But black can haze. When you come down onto something that's temperature sensitive, like black or cobalt blue or lots of them transparent, if they're not preheated correctly, they'll get a haze on them and they'll have a bubble surface on your grid. So with ivories or light type of tones, you don't have that kind of tone. So that's a good thing. You can make it look like sand, you can make it look like gravel or granite, you can make it look like dirt, you can make it look like lots of different things. But a neutral base is always the best if you're worried about the brightness of your flowers competing with your background. So that's all I can, I cannot say, oh, red there, blue over here, whatever. Now there are certain colors, of course, that you want to stay away from compatibility issues that you don't want to use. One of them is coral. Coral is quite often a compatibility problem, especially in an engagement situation like this, and it's not worth the risk. All of the hot colors are slight risks, not as bad as coral, but yellow, orange, and red can be a problem too. And they are really crazy bright in the background, and you really want some colors. That's what you do. Maybe Christmas time, red's certainly a good background, but most of the time not. The chestnut brown is also a compatibility issue. and greens. Not only because there's leaves and greens in the setup that it will compete with, but green leads relatively badly. So by bleeding, I mean it migrates out onto the surface where it's a very soft and easy to migrate glass, and so it may come up the sides of your table or whatever if you overlead too much. So it's best to stay away from green fruit. So coral's a problem. The hotter colors can be problems, and green is other than that, let you go. So now I'm going to make some grit with a nice clean cup of water right over here, and I'll just make some ivory. This, contrary to most people's beliefs, is the best way to make grit in small quantities. And I have to put that in parentheses, in small quantities, because all we need is a very small amount here to go in the bottom of the stuff. We are using optical glass, so it is going to show every single mistake. It's also going to be magnified by zone, so it's going to show every single mistake. If there is hazy, dirty stuff or whatever. Whenever you pulverize grind, no matter what you do, with a ball mill or a pounder or a garbage disposal or a super shooter, whatever, it's grinding and pulverizing the glass, which is creating a powdered situation and or ground edges. Ground edges are always dirty. Whenever they get hot, they fry up, they turn it back in and catch a bunch of bubbles and it turns into scum, basically. What you want for this kind of thing is a very crisp, clean type of grit. So it's a real easy thing to get really fine grated sand grit. The only problem is most people don't squish fast enough or thin enough, so their grit ends up being a little bit too chunky. But all you want to do is heat basically about 3/8 of an inch of a ball of whatever color you choose, and can be multiple colors, and about 3/8 of an inch of a ball or something like about that. You're going to drop that down into a pair of mini mashers or small tight mashers, and pinch, 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 pinch. Paper thin, as thin as you can pinch it. Then you're going to flash one side, flash the other side, and just like that. They're all very uniform in size and very clean and sharp. And that's the way to do it. And since you don't need a great deal of quantity to fill this cup, it's the best way to do it. After I fill that cup up, or I don't even have to fill the cup up, all I have to do is do like 1/8 of an inch on the bottom of that thing there, and that's more than I need. Okay? Here is it, the grit after it's done. You take a folded up paper towel and just place it on the same film that's holding the dots. And what you get is this fine, very little sparkle on that. You get a fine, sparkly grit. Now every once in a while, for example here, there's a piece that doesn't meet the grade. This piece of flat that you nicely chip, you just pick through and go. So, I take that beautiful dry grit, it's on the kiln for the past 10 or so minutes, and here's my cup. Now this cup is hot. Do not touch the cup itself. That's why it's got a handle on it. And I'm telling you, you'll never do it again if you do touch this cup. So I'm sliding this over. It's on top of an electric element, as you can see, and it's at about probably 500 and something degrees. Now, the optimum kiln temperature, if you were to put this cup into a kiln, drill down through the floor of the kiln, take copper or brass piping that you can get at Home Depot or whatever, come down, make a 90 degree, make another 90 degree out, put a filter on it, and put it on the pump, a vacuum pump, or suck still too, same thing. That works fine. If the optimum number out there is 814 degrees for a flower setter like this. So you just set your kiln for 814 degrees, you set your setup into the thing, no, Fahrenheit, Celsius is that like 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit? No. No, it's 814 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so then that is sitting in that cup. All you do then is peel your dock. It's best that if you have a vacuum pump that has a pedal type of switch, and all you have to do is just peel the dock, lift the lid, step on the pedal, go with the dock. Okay? And it's already set for you, no preheating with a little push, no worries, no nothing. Okay, but in this case here, we have a heating element that gets us to about 500 degrees. That preheats the grit from the bottom and some of the flour from the bottom, and we still have to come into the top of preheat. So here's one of the dangerous parts. I'm going to put the grit in first, and then lower the setup into it. And so here goes the grit. So all you want to do is just cover the graphite. Come to the flour, now grab it at a very stable place, and this is the dangerous part, is trying to pick this up and get it in the cup without dropping it. Get your hand underneath it so in case it does drop, it does not fall on the table. and put it in and center it up. And now if you want to put down into that here, I can bring it to you. And back onto the plate here. Now my assistant starts with the little torch with the number 5 tip. We set, and you want the torch to point down, not towards the knob. And this is now a little bit bigger on the flame, about a 2-inch or so flame, and bring it to turquoise, and then take it beyond turquoise to the dark blue. And now she starts fairly high up above this thing and works her way down onto the flowers. The idea is for her to work her way down over time. Remember, I've got a hose here that I have to suck on once I get the puck peeled. And I don't want to yank on this because I could pull the whole thing off the table. Okay, so I just want to be aware that that's there. She works down on these flowers until she gets every single petal and every single leaf to get a light orange glow on it. Just a light glow on the skin, not to where it moves, falls, sags, or drips, or sticks to each other. Just a light glow. Meanwhile, I come over here and I take Papa Bear. Now it should have a little bit of shot on the tip. Since we haven't been working with shot, I'm going to have to put a little Murrine in the tip. You always come out of the kiln with the big gobs into a big flame. Okay? You don't want to take the chance of the puck cracking. If the puck cracks, then you're going to have to use it to like pull rod out or do something else with it, or maybe saw in half. But basically, it's not any good for doing this anymore. So I'm going to take some clear Murrine. It should be shot. Remember, it should be shot. And usually when we do this, the first person, or me, uses the Murrine like this. But after I start peeling the pucks, I'm going to leave a whole bunch of pieces of shot material on the table. So now I put some on there. It's just working like glue, and then I lightly angle this up. There's a dimple in the front of this puck, and that's my target that I'm going to go into with this. I get it relatively hot. I go into the center, touch, and right to the torch. Now, if the puck is off center, you don't want to touch it right away with the tweezers because it will crack it. So a couple of turns in here, and then you're safe now. Push it on center. Slide it right into the middle. And now I'm going to peel the face of the puck. Now the face of the puck is flat. I'm going to heat it really, really hot, right close to the face until it's orange, white, orange hot. I'm going to start like frosting a cupcake from the bottom, and I'm going to go up, around, and down, and in. Get rid of that one there. Now I'm going to miter off the edge of the top. So I'm going to go down, and these I would throw down on the table. Those are the pieces that I would use to put on the ends of the sponges later on instead of using Murrine, which is not appropriate. Just a couple pieces like this. Now you check your face and make sure that you didn't miss anything. When you get it to glow orange like this, it will expose any dirt by being moving white and scummy. Now I can come to the sides. Just like peeling a banana, just straight down and off. Down and off. Down and off. Now peeling with the big side of the tweezers means that you can peel quite a few pieces before it actually starts to stick and you have to pinch it. You don't want to peel with the point of the tweezers because it will stick almost after every second try. So you're peeling with the big side, the thicker part of the metal of the tweezers, and that way you can do this quite fast, and it comes off quite easily. Now once you get the hang of doing this, you can actually peel this way all the way around in one or two moves. So this is the way you start off though, just like peeling a banana. Straight down, always down, never up into the glass because that will be bringing the dirty stuff back up into what you already cleaned, and now you've gone all the way around. Oop, you don't want grit hanging on there either. If grit sticks back on there, that'll break dirt, and you have to go peel that back. So you want to come so close to the face of the torch because you want to superheat the skin without softening the core. If you soften the core, the puck starts to move, and it makes it almost impossible to peel. So you got to try to get right down on it, peel it quickly away, get the skin super hot, and then you've got a core that's nice. It should look basically the same shape and basically the same size. You don't want to take off very much glass, as you can see down here. Now I want to change hands, and I'm going to point the face of this into the torch and start to get this really, really hot. The reason why I'm pointing this into the face of the torch here is because if I go sideways like this, you can see the heat lapping around the back, which is actually softening it on the punty, which makes it get hard to control because it's going all over the place. If I heat it like this into the face, this is the glass that's going to meet your flower anyway. So this is the stuff that has to be hot. The back stays cold and solid. That allows me to get that front crazy, 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 crazy hot. And that's what we're looking for. Is a white orange, I would imagine 2300, close to 2300 degrees. I mean, very, very liquid. The glass formula is designed to become liquid so that it will go around the flowers. That's what this formula was designed for, which is why it's in that cup shape to fit into the cup. It's all meant to be. You know, as far as paperweights go, it's all meant to be. So now you can see that it's starting to really get drippy, right? And that's what you're looking for. Now she's heated everything, and I want to make sure that this is plenty as level so that it does not point down and so that it does not mushroom back. The idea is to keep it in the size that is the cork for that bottle. That's what I want. I do not want to be afraid and lean it down like this and have it go mushrooming out and get bigger and bigger, and then it won't pick it up. See how mushroomed it is? I also don't want to lean it down so much that it dribbles and drools and falls onto the table. So the idea is to keep it in that form and level, plenty, and screaming hot. Now I reach down and I grab the torch or the hose, and I don't want to pull this off the table. Okay, that's important. And I asked Joella, has everything been heated? Yes. And now I get this thing screaming hot. Now what I want to do is I have to allow a skin to form on the flowers or they will go flat. Okay? And so I'm going to do a long 6 count. So now I'm crazy hot and I say, Joella, go away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a one-time stop. Do not dribble. Do not push and plunge. Just follow the gob in and make a vacuum immediately. Okay? So it's a timing thing. Once you get the timing right, everything goes well. You wait for a second or two for this to set up so that the monkey does not sink. And so I'm just holding it there. I'm not pulling it up. I'm not pushing it down. I'm just keeping it from going in. Because that glass is so soft, you would just go all the way to the flowers. You wait until it stiffens up, a slight pull back, and there's your flowers trapped in the glass. Almost done. I want to tap this down. And now just to speed the process up, then, I'm going to have Joella keep this warm over there. I'm going to go in with this punty and get the bottom limiter on here. Now normally I would scrape the sides over that to protect the frick. Let's see if I can do it without. So, Joella lights the torch. This doesn't go over an hour. An hour's right? Okay, because it would be a little bit over. Okay, go ahead. She keeps that alive now. She doesn't change its shape. She doesn't allow it to do anything but just not break. Okay, I go in, and now since I've done this, see, I've taken some of these little pieces. Now this is what you do. You stick it over the shot. Okay, you stick that right onto the shot. All you need is just a little bit because this is the flat surface I'm picking it up to. The gob actually had a dimple in it, so you needed a little bit more material to go into that dimple to pick up the initial big gob. So now I go in, I grab my half. It's been sawn completely right down the middle, just like this, right into the torch. Remember a couple times around before you actually touch it with the pull tool. Then you can touch it and center it up. First thing I'm going to peel is that sawn face. So right up close to the face of that torch, and as red hot as you can get it, really, 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 really hot. Then from the top down, peel the entire surface off the one peel. And now miter the sides. Both of them. And then the flat sides. Both of those. By the time you peel this thing, it should still be in that half a puck shape. That means that you managed to keep the core solid, which is what you're supposed to do. If it's already melting and falling and getting out of control, then you're doing it out here. If you're doing it out here, you're lost. You're never going to get this thing peeled in a pretty fashion, and you're never going to get total control. So remember, resist the urge to listen to other people telling you not to work close to the face of the torch. Resist the urge. Because that's what they told you all along. Stay away from the face of the torch. Stay away from, there's nothing further from the truth. Many times in sculptural things, or in this kind of a case, you have to be right off the cones. And it is the most appropriate place to be. It's the most exact, it's the most intense flame, and it's going to get your skin hot without getting your pores soft. And that's what's important in this case right here. So now I peel the entire thing, and it's still in its puff form, but I want to check everything and make sure I didn't miss it, so I get a good hot hold over there and something. And now you're starting to peel with the very point of the tweezers because you're being exact in what you're peeling. Now when you're trying to just peel the skin off quickly, you're just using the big fat side, but as you get more and more exact as to what you're trying to pick off, you're using closer and closer to the point of the tweezers. And now she's looking good. Now I go ahead and I get this nice and soft, and I'm going to drop this on the bottom of that. This will be the bottom end of my paperweight. So I don't want to take that away from her until this is actually kind of soft. Not out of control hot, but kind of soft. And then I can hold them both, that one in the back plane, this one in the front, and drop this like hot fudge onto the bottom to create the bottom of the paperweight. Okay, I'll take a job. This goes back into the back of the plane like this. This one now gets intensely hot. I'm going to hold it up, straight up and down like a lollipop with the paperweight, and drop this onto the bottom, just like Sunday, let it spread to where it covers the frit completely, and then change my direction. Now I burn out this punty by heating only the Pyrex punty, and with a slight lean down, all of the soft glass wants to sheet right off the punty, and that way I don't take any away that I don't want. And then I can use the punty itself to pick up any scum that I see, and then I take the tweezers to do the final job, this little bubble right there. Okay, now the reason why we usually take the sides and cover the frit is because that frit is exposed there. If I hit it really hard to get rid of that seam, it may bleed up onto the side of my paperweight. But I'm going to do a very gentle job of doing this. I take my ring. I'm heating only the clear on the bottom and just barely at that frit seam. Into the side angle of this, I'm going to tap, 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 tap. I'm forcing it like forcing a balloon or a bubble into a rounded shape by tapping it into place. Not spinning it, but tapping it and pushing it into place. Once I feel that I'm getting some resistance from that glass, then I can start spinning it. And what I'm trying to get is a 2-inch profile off the back of that ring right there. I don't go down into it because that's a smaller profile. I want a 2-inch profile. That should be correct for the top half of the paperweight, which should be a 2 or 2 1/4-inch paperweight. So now I've got the right profile here. Now I heat it, and with the graphite paddle, I create a flat spot where I'm going to put my final or baby bear punting on. So nice and hot, that smooths out all the chill marks, and a tap, turn, tap, turn, according to the frit line to make sure that I distribute that bottom glass completely evenly in line with the frit line. That will now be my bottom. I don't care what this punty is doing. It could be doing that for all I care. This is what counts now. I make a nice flat spot, and actually a chilled flat spot. Now I take baby bear. I do not want to penetrate the bottom of this paperweight with baby bear. I only want to tack this and tack that, set it on center, and then slide it to the middle. Now I go about removing the top punting like this, hitting it very, 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 very hard. Both the shot and the Pyrex are getting really, really hot. And this is the same way that you're removing your punting from your Murrine or anything else. You want to make sure you don't get any Pyrex behind. So you heat them both. Equal heat, really, really hot, and then you take it out and allow the harder glass to set up first, and then you pull the harder glass out and the softer glass. That's the way you do it. So now I turn it upright like this. That allows the soft glass to slightly fall away from the hard glass, and it allows the hard glass now to harden up. If I pull too soon, of course, the hard glass is still soft and it will pull. But if I wait and wait, and you also have to make sure the bottom is solid, because you can pull your flat spot right out of your paperweight. And so now you know you've got everything. If you look at this, you've got everything out there. And now I'm going to pluck whatever garbage is. Remember, this is the original pen that I went in and touched, so this was never clean. So now I go in and I clean this out. You get a little ginger jar shape or a little honey pot shape or a sugar bowl or whatever you want to call it. That's the typical shape that you'll end up with. Now I take the garbage out. Remember, I used Moretti as a punting glue material in the beginning. I want to make sure I get all the Moretti out there. Not that it's incompatible, but that it may show as a ghostly cord in the top of this thing. So I take that out. And you have to look very, very closely. I also want to then peel any crap or any stuff that is scummy. Try to take the bare minimum of glass away. Don't dig in. Remember, you want this paperweight to be as big as it can be. You want the mass to remain the same or close to it. So now I'm just taking away only the dirty spots. There is a little. And good. Now the whole thing is clean. Now I heat from the frit line up and soften that clear glass, and I'm going to drop it again down into this ring that's set for a 2-inch paperweight. So I soften this whole top and let it slightly fall back towards the frit so that it almost starts to round itself out. It almost rounds itself out. So nice and hot, nice and hot. A little bit more on the sides. And let it fall back. Now a couple of degrees of angle to this will allow that to come back and fill near the frit where I need it to go. Just a couple of degrees of an angle, and see it's going into its round form. Okay, so now into the bottom of this ring, I just tap it, drop it in, and tap as I turn. Tap, 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 tap. And what I'm doing is I'm squishing a bubble. I'm squishing a balloon. And that's now forcing it to go into a circle. So before I even start spinning it, I'm forcing it into a circular shape. And now it's almost a circle, and now it's a sphere. And you turn it over there just like that. Now you've got a perfect sphere. And then the final thing is to flame polish that sphere and show it to the camera. Just one good flame polish on the skin all the way around, all the way around. Take it out, keep it turning. Don't let it fall or sag because it is hot enough to actually still move. So keep it turning evenly so that it doesn't want to sag. Letting it kind of settle down. If I do want it to fall, in other words, the magnification is not great enough, but of course this happens to be perfect. So anyway, this is what you're looking for. Okay, so now I use the shears. Take it down to a small point like this. I use the shears to remove the paperweight off of the small bunting. This is kind of a dangerous move in that you hit the Pyrex and you want the Pyrex to release itself from and ready without falling. So you heat this where it wants to fall. You see, it wants to fall. So I heat it, I hold it upright like this and let it fall until I can actually see a seam between these two glasses. There, you see that? See the seam? You go between here and you catch it like this. You lean it forward. And there's your paperweight there. You lick it. And then you touch it like this. This allows you then to put the paperweight onto its bottom and tap and pull the plummet out of the bottom as you go. And lay it down on its bottom. I tap.